Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something pretty much all of us think about, our jobs. Specifically, how does the way we make a living line up with, well, who we are, our values? And we're going to explore this through the story of one person who had to make a really, really tough call.
So let me ask you something. Imagine you've got it all. The dream job, the salary, the whole package. You've worked for it, you've earned it. But there's this little voice in the back of your head, right? A feeling that what you're doing every day just doesn't sit right with your conscience. That's the exact spot our story kicks off today.
Okay, so let's dive into the story. We're talking about an aerospace engineer who built this incredible career, only to make a choice that pretty much blew everyone away and turned her life completely upside down.
And listen, this wasn't just some random job. This woman had a master's degree in, rocket science, literally. She was a top student, won awards, and spent more than 10 years at the biggest aircraft manufacturer in the world. We're talking a successful, stable career, the kind of job that pays the bills and then some. And then, after 13 years, she quit. Just like that. So the obvious question is, why? I mean, why would you walk away from a career most people would kill for? Well, the answer gets into the real moral weight of what she was doing every day. All right, let's really dig into the ethical maze she was trying to navigate. And honestly, it's something a lot of people in highly technical fields run into. Okay, so this is where it gets really tricky. Think about her field, aerospace. On one hand, the science is amazing, right? The same math that lets you plot a rocket's course to deliver new medicines or explore other planets. Well, that exact same math can be used to aim a weapon with terrifying precision. A satellite can connect the whole world, or it can become part of a massive spy network. You see the problem? It's this constant tightrope walk between incredible progress and incredible harm. And this isn't a new problem. Think about J. Robert Oppenheimer, right? The guy who led the project to build the atomic bomb. When he saw what it could do, he quoted this ancient text, basically saying he'd become a destroyer. He felt that weight for the rest of his life. And that's exactly what this engineer was feeling. Even though she wasn't pushing any buttons, she felt complicit. She was making a living from an industry that, in her mind, was deeply connected to causing harm. And that was a line she just couldn't cross anymore. So, wrestling with all of this, she ended up stumbling upon a really ancient idea, a kind of framework that helped her see her whole situation in a brand new light. She came across this concept called right livelihood. It's a really central part of Buddhist philosophy, one piece of something called the Noble Eightfold Path. And the idea is actually pretty straightforward, but it's huge. It just says that the way you earn your money should be honest, and it shouldn't harm anyone else. Simple as that. It's all about making sure your job and your values are actually on the same page. And this ancient teaching gets pretty specific. It actually lists 5 kinds of work to stay away from, because they're seen as inherently causing suffering. First up, you've got the weapons business. That one's pretty obvious. Then, there's any business involving human beings. Think trafficking, exploitation. Third is the meat industry, because it involves harming animals. The fourth is dealing in intoxicants, things that mess with your mind. And last, business in poison, which covers anything that harms people's health or the environment. So, with this new perspective, the engineer felt like she had a plan. She quit her job and moved into civil aviation, commercial airplanes. Seemed like a much safer bet, ethically speaking. But it turns out, in our modern world, things are never that simple. Yeah, even in her better job, she started peeling back the layers and found all these gray areas. She started asking herself, wait, is working in an industry with huge CO2 emissions a kind of business in poison? Then she found out her new company was caught up in a massive bribery scandal, and they were using contractors that had been accused of human rights abuses. The real kicker? One of the company's subsidiaries was still making military planes. She jumped from one fire into another, realizing the problem was way more tangled than she ever thought. And this leads to a really tough question for all of us, right? When you work for a giant global company, where does your personal responsibility end? Are you on the hook for what some contractor does on the other side of the world? Or what another division of the company is up to? I mean, how far does that chain of accountability really go? There are no easy answers here, and it's a huge challenge in the modern workplace.